Hello everybody, this is Dragonzilla1991 here, and for today/tonight, depending on what time it is when you're watching this video, I will be talking about two of the same animals of the Ice Age, and those would be the Papo and Safari Limited woolly rhinos. Now one of them I've had for years, and the other is only recent to the collection as I only got him last Christmas. Now as we all know, Prehistoric Planet Ice Age is just around the corner and will be premiering in a couple of weeks time, and one of the stars will be Coelodonta. And so to celebrate, I thought that it would be suitable to look at Papo and Safari's interpretation of the woolly rhinoceros. First up is the Papo woolly rhino, and this model was announced in late 2012 and was originally released in 2013, and I think it was discontinued for a few years, but by popular demand it made a comeback, so I've heard. One time I was looking at my Schleich Ice Age animal figures, maybe I'll review those guys someday, and I remember thinking, I wish they did the woolly rhino, and shortly afterwards, I was looking through the Papo catalogue, where on the prehistoric page, they revealed that their new Pleistocene animal was none other than Coelodonta, and after finding this out, I was very excited, because I'd always wanted a woolly rhino figure, and Coelodonta is after all my third favourite Ice Age animal, and thus I never really was a fan of Schleich's baby Mammoth, and I often wished that it was the woolly rhino instead. Oh, speaking of which, I do know that next year, Schleich will be revisiting the woolly mammoth and saber-toothed cat, and I've got to say that for recent Schleich models, these both look fantastic, and I'll definitely be getting them once they're released. Onto the model itself, and because Coelodonta was just a rhinoceros but with an all hairy coat, I believe that this figure, like the woolly mammoth, is going to be the most scientifically accurate. This animal may have originated in the tropics, coming from Africa and Asia, however it was designed to adapt to the cooling climate. As you can see, he has his thick woolly coat, he's bigger and bulkier than the average rhino, and of course there's the storage hump. He's got his long horn that would have been used as either a weapon against threats and rivals, but it could also be used as a tool to help clear away the snow when searching for vegetation. His facial expression seems to show the rhino looking stern, and judging by the pose, my guess is that he's charging at something. Maybe he's going after a Neanderthal. Where the woolly mammoth was dark brown, Coelodonta is light, perhaps so that he doesn't share the same colour scheme as his more famous and iconic colleague. I really do like how Papo have designed their woolly rhino, because he actually does remind me a lot of the Walk with Beasts depiction, mainly in the horn, because going back to it, the rhino doesn't appear to have one curve, as they can also be straightened out, and only curving at the top, depending on how rhinos use their horns. And it's most likely that Coelodonta would have been the exact same thing. Also, this model is quite glossy, and I see that as the snow that has laid on the hair and has melted against all the heat coming off the rhino's blubber. I think if my memory serves me correctly, I believe that Coelodonta may have actually been the first Ice Age animal that I ever bought from Papo, as I got Swallowdon and the Mammoth just over 2 years later. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Papo's interpretation on the woolly rhino is spot on, unless of course there are any inaccuracies that I missed, to which you guys could just spot out. Up next is Safari's take on Coelodonta, and this one is certainly the most scientifically accurate, and reflects the real animal's likeness perfectly well. Now when this figure was originally announced, I was impressed, but at the same time pretty much satisfied with the Papo model, so I didn't really bother with it. However, it was through Briefy Productions again that I heard that the figure was going to be discontinued for the following year, and so I ordered him, along with Uinterferium and Deodon, and received them for Christmas. And I must say that I actually do like the Safari Coelodonta a lot more. And out of the 4 woolly rhino figures that I currently own in the collection, I think that this one may be my favourite. I love the large nostrils, which look like they were adapted to the cold, and the ears are pricked up facing forward. He has his head lowered, as if he's either getting ready to charge, or perhaps he could just be digging through the snow searching for vegetation. The horn is your traditional curve, so that must be how this rhino takes care of his horn. Unfortunately mine, as you can see, is bent. And another thing that I do like about him would be the colour scheme, because although it's mostly brown, it's a mixture of light and dark, which is depicted on cave art, as they were the true reflections of these animals. And the areas around the horns and nostrils are grey. For the paws, well, as I said earlier, it could either be a charge or grazing. Some folks have pointed out that the back left leg is stuck out a bit too much, but it doesn't really bother me, as it's only a minor gripe. Safari have done the woolly rhinoceros before as part of their Missing Link series many years ago. However, that particular model is now rare and really hard to come by, but you can still find it on eBay. In a way, overall, I really do like the new Safari Limited Coelodonta, as it's a fantastic representation of the real animal. Now for size comparisons. Well, here are the two woolly rhino figures with the Mojo Fun woolly rhinoceros that we looked at 2 years ago. The link is in the description below in case you wish to check the video out. And this is what they both look like with the Wild Republic Coelodonta. Here they are with Papo's other Ice Age Goliaths, such as the mighty woolly mammoth, saber-toothed cat Smilodon, cave bear Ursus Borealis, and of course the giant Irish elk Megaloceros. The mammoth, saber-toothed and cave bear were looked at last year, links below in the description, and the Irish elk is yet to be covered. Two more comparisons. This is what they look like with the Safari Limited Uinterferium that we talked about at the start of the year, New Year's Day to be precise. Link below, and newcomer to the collection, Mojo Fun Brontotherium. So what are my final thoughts on the Safari Limited and Papo woolly rhinos? I think that they're both recommendable, especially if you're a Pleistocene enthusiast like myself. One may have been discontinued but has since made a comeback, and the other is on its way out. At least so I've heard, because I don't know whether it's true or not. But what I do know is that you can find both of them on eBay, and they'll look good in any prehistoric collection, Ice Age or dinosaur. This is Dragonzilla 1991 signing out. Take care, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.